Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to be going over kind of a big issue I think that's popping up right now. Now, as you guys may or may not know, PlayStation Stars did just go and officially launch, and is coming out and having a slow rollout in other countries too as well, but it just came out here in America. Now, some folks have finally had a chance to have a hands-on with it, interact with some stuff, and kind of see some things when it comes to the PlayStation Stars, but I do think there's a lot more critiques that a lot of people are pushing into, and I kind of want to go talk about that. There's a few kind of key elements in terms of like when you buy games. When it comes to disc editions as well, kind of somewhat getting like, well, screwed over. And as well as also just a lot of other various things where people are not fully convinced this wasn't just a failed NFT project, kind of seem like, oh, hey, this could have been an NFT project, but then they realized, well, it's either not that good or as well may not be worth the while for just general people. So we're going to talk about this, talk about the critiques, and talk about this, and I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below too as well. So make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway, link down below, and also subscribe here or check out the Twitch stream to go be entered with the bonus entries. We do have the also Target link. I do want to mention that there is a $250 Xbox Series S with Xbox controller deal going on with Target, so we made sure to put a community post and link that down below. And of course, as well, we also have the other various things too for Target, PlayStations, Amazons, and all of that. You guys are all signed up for that. So as we've mentioned really quickly, the PlayStation Stars has basically been a, well, reward system. Kind of thing similar to Nintendo, where you do things in game, you guys go and check out other various things, you go buy certain things, and then you basically go and get to have a console. And you get to have PSN things, you get invites, you get like support, you get a bunch of different stuff. Like there's a lot of things that are tied into it, but the main big thing is the digital collectibles and the PlayStation Network cards. So that's kind of what the gist of it is. It's kind of cool, it's free, and you don't really necessarily have to be a part of it. There's kind of no reason to not be a part of it. But we've also been seeing people nowadays coming out with a lot more critiques, and I do kind of agree with this as well. So what we gotta have like articles, we have people being confused on it, we have people discussed on it too, and we're seeing like, first and foremost people like Paul, who had a chance to go and tweet this type of stuff on out over here too on their profiles, discussing this when it comes to their PlayStation and being like, there's, with all the other Destiny news that's coming out today, I think there was a TWAB or something, but basically we're seeing folks out here that are calling this out, where it's like, bro, there's like no way you guys can't convince me this wasn't originally some weird NFT showcasing thing. And I kind of agree on that, because it kind of just seems like the digital collectibles, that's what people are pushing for. People want to, like, that was the hot thing. We saw PlayStation in the Web3, but as of now, NFTs have kind of calmed down, and it's probably not really worthwhile for a place like Sony to do it. So instead, they have something like this, where they're just trying to give you a weird display of random, well, displays. And it's kind of another big thing is that some folks don't even care about profiles, which is fine, because some people do, but that's also been a big critique where a lot of folks are like, well, I'd rather just go play games, or I'm more of a single player guy because that's how the Sony platform is. I don't really care like on how many trophies I get or what I showcase on these displays. If anything, I just want to have a chance to maybe get a PlayStation Network gift card, and we go from there. Which I think at the end of the day, I think seems kind of nice because, well, random gift cards are cool. Saving a lot of money is kind of cool. Like, I just like the free stuff. I think most people agree with that. So some folks are kind of critiquing this quite heavily too as well. But the big thing too is a lot of people want to get those extra savings, as I mentioned. So because the program rewards gold points that can be redeemed for PSN bucks. So every 1,250 points you earn is the equivalent of $5 you can put towards a new game, or like basically a gift card. It's basically Sony's version of what Nintendo and Microsoft have already been doing for some time, and Sony had at least one done in the past too as well. But then number one, people are calling out the nonsense of actually making these tiers. So basically, they said it's gamified to make you feel like it's building towards something. And there's 4 levels with one hidden 5th one, but they don't really get you better discounts, and they do not get really more NFT trinkets. And to reach level 4, you'll need to get the most controversial perk, which is basically the better customer service. So that's kind of why it's weird, because they're kind of being like, hey, if you want to go and work towards stuff, you work towards a feature that a company should probably just offer normally, which is just better customer service. So that's why after you bought 4 full games in the PlayStation Store, and you have the earned 128 uncommon trophies. So you get the celebration collectible, but the big thing, and people were calling this out, and I kind of already knew this was going to be an issue, because I feel like if I have an issue with my console, I have an issue with my games, I have an issue with my hardware, I don't want to be a priority, like not a priority support, and I don't want to have to deal with other people that have priority support. I want whatever is bothering my, console, my life, what I spent money on, being fixed by Sony. And I think a lot of you guys would hopefully agree. So this is kind of a big thing. A lot of folks are saying that like it's weird to be a somewhat pay to win when it comes to just getting support for things you should get for free, and other companies as well sometimes do for free. Now, on top of this, too, apparently you also, that's kind of funny how it's like, how do you earn free games? And people are critiquing this, too. People are critiquing pretty much everything here because it does seem a little bit lackluster. Or like they're like, hey, how do you get free games? You have to buy them first. So basically, completing campaigns like buying from a pre-selected list of games will get you bonus points, but the majority of those are earned automatically every time you buy something on the PSN, as long as you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. And that's another thing too, is that you have to be a PlayStation Plus subscriber. So like you have this cool benefit, and it's technically free to join, but it's technically free to join if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, which you're already paying money for monthly. And as well, you also have to buy games to, like, get trophies in the games or get these bonus like points as well. So it's nice because it's not needed. This is like, they don't have to do this as a company. But it is kind of almost to the point where it's almost not good enough that some folks may not just even sign up for it because they're like, well, who cares? I'll maybe waste like $5, but they're going to expire in 24 months anyway. And that's another thing. Some people don't like the idea of it expiring. I'm in the same boat. 2 years at least is somewhat generous, but like, bro, just keep it forever until someone spends it. Like, why not? Why not? It's like $5 anyway. And it's also buying games in your own ecosystem, which you're turning profit anyway. Like if you go and, let's go and say you make like a $20 profit margin on every $60 game. If you go and like someone still just goes and sits for 3 years to get a $5 coupon, you're still making $15 on that purchase at the end of the day. So it's kind of crazy to see. So they kind of did focus a lot on that have to be a PS Plus subscriber, because if you're not a current subscriber, you won't get any points for regular purchases. And if you are, however, you'll get 4%, which isn't really the worst, I guess, when it comes to points. So say you buy The Last of Us Part 1 for $70, and you'll get the equivalent of $2.80 back in points. Now, it's not awful, like I said, it's not awful. They don't have to do this, but it is kind of weird. Like, it's kind of like, hey, like, it's just more pay to win stuff over and over and over again. So as well, you do have to be a PS Plus member to get the points back. You also need to buy the games, and this is one of the biggest things too. You do also have to buy games directly through the PSN, rather than with funds loaded onto your PSN wallet. So that might seem like a distinction without a difference, but one great way to save money on PlayStation Store purchases is by waiting for a sale on PSN cards, which we've seen before, like a $100 gift card for like $80 or whatever. So apparently they're not allowing that. So you have to buy it directly from their PlayStation Store itself, and as right now, these will not be counted. So it's kind of like taking away more payment options too. But what I think the biggest one on all of this is that you don't get credit for physical purchases. This is crazy to me. I think this is crazy because I have a PlayStation 5 Disc Edition. I paid extra money for the PlayStation 5 Disc Edition. So much of the chagrin of people who like collecting boxes to display on their shelves, or who simply want a more permanent means of preserving their gaming library, it also doesn't seem to count towards recent purchases for their sum of the campaign objectives. So basically, people have recently bought Inscription and other games required for one of the early rank up challenges, but it doesn't actually count towards their system. So you guys can see some of these tweets over here saying, just going to point out that I think it's a little ridiculous. I didn't get 50 points considering I bought The Last of Us Part 1 through the PS Store, but since the purchase wasn't, basically just wasn't there when it launched, it didn't count. And I really think this is a huge mess up because this is more so insulting people who have already bought and played your games. So, I mean, if this was like, someone like renting it or something like that, sure. But if someone already spent $70 and they just can't even go give them a free retroactive $2 credit for it, it's just stupid, especially when there's also like a promotion, as you guys can kind of see with this, being like, hey, like go and buy more games. Like here's Inscription, here's Last of Us, and you get bonus points. You get these bonus star rewards if you guys get these from the PlayStation Store. But because they're physical editions, and I think that's one of the biggest issues with this, people don't get it counted. It doesn't count for them. We also had other folks stating like, yeah, this is aggravating. I bought Last of Us and the Inscription on their launch days, and I want my points. And it's like, Sony, like, just give them the extra $3 in points. They already gave you the money. They already earned it. Like, this should have been retroactive for, let's say, the past, whatever number might be nice, 6 months, 3 months, whatever is easy, past month, even if they want to be somewhat greedy, and folks are out there. And a lot of folks are still saying that even, like, the Nintendo discount program is better, and I'd probably agree. So while it's nice that they're trying to do something, which is true, they don't have to do anything, PlayStation Stars isn't as generous as Nintendo offers, and then currently anytime you buy a game on Nintendo's eShop, you get 5% back in gold coins that you can spend in future games. In addition, it works whether you buy the games directly with cash, or if you fund it with eShop cards, meaning you can grab the later and then when they're 10% off and still use them too as well. So if you guys wait until you're on a sale and you're getting even more bang for your buck, plus you also don't have to have the online Switch subscriptions too as well for all this type of stuff. A lot of people are also saying too as well, they're also saying don't go and have your pre-ordered stuff too, and they're not going to get their points for it, although apparently Sony did say they're going to have a chance to go get those. But like a lot of folks, and myself included, think it's like complex, the rewards offers aren't really that good, and everything else with that has just been mediocre, and I really think the issue of them not allowing disc editions and also prior buys is awful, to go and say the least. So give me your thoughts and comments down below, and as well, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the PS5 Digital Console Controller, Twitter giveaway too as well, Target links down below, and the Target link sales for the Xbox Series S2 as well. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in the first place.